the donor card, fill it out and mail it, and you can also become a live donor by donating a piece of your liver or one of your kidneys. And the way to become a cadaver donor is by mailing that paper in, but your own MPP, Frank Cleese, just passed an important bill where you soon, in January or February, you'll be able to register online, so you don't have to do any mailing stuff. It'll be that simple. So as we're going along, we're hoping that it just makes it easier for people to do that. But I'm going to be providing Jeanette with all that information, because as I said, first you hatch and then you work on it afterwards. You do these things all year and try and recruit and enlist as many people as possible. So again, thank you, Aurora High School. So far, you guys have been, I'd say, right up there in top schools. Out of the thousands of schools that I've been to, you're right up there with the top. So thank you so much.
Students, I know the bell went, but we're still staying in the CAF. We have alternate day today. I would like to bring up, we have the guest speakers that we're going to hear next are speakers who have been either waiting for a transplant or who have survived, as Mr. Cuthbert. So I'm going to ask, before I do that, I want to recognize Mr. Cover, who is our incredible IT guy who got us connected with the internet. Mr. Hanoud, thank you so much. Mr. Cuthbert, would you mind please coming up and speaking a bit about what is happening?
Good morning. Good afternoon, I guess, by now. First of all, I too would like to thank Aurora High for sponsoring or hosting the event today. I know some of you, through my children who both attend school here, Blair Cuthbert and Marla Cuthbert. I also attended school here, but that was quite a while ago. In fact, I attended at the same time that Mr. Berger did. What I'd like to do today is just encourage you to come forward, and people who are 16 and over can sign the organ donor card and become registered for cadaveric donation. The other option is to be a live donor, but that cannot be effective until you're 18. Just to give you a little background on my situation, I was diagnosed with liver disease about 2.5 years ago. At that time, they told me I had literally 3 months to live. I told them I wasn't going to die and didn't really listen to them. I should forewarn you that I get a little emotional talking about this, so be prepared. They told me I was going to die. I ended up in the hospital from October till June, October 2008 till June 2009. I went from 180 pounds to 144 pounds, and to the point where I almost couldn't walk. I got out of the hospital last June, a year ago June, and was back in 12 times, or maybe more than 12, from June 2009 to June 2010. At that time, I was told I literally had days to live, and I had several bouts of hepatic encephalopathy, I think that's how you say it, which is too much ammonia in your system because your liver doesn't clear the toxins and goes to your brain and causes confusion and temporary dementia, which you can actually die from. I had 7 bouts of that. The varicose vein in my neck burst twice, which you can bleed to death from. I had a staph infection. I had different times when my blood pressure went low. It was a real tough go. I tried to remain positive throughout the whole thing, and I had great support from my family. In June, when they told me I had days to live, I had been told by doctors I would never, when I originally started, I'd never make the weight on the transplant list, that I would die before I got an organ. So in June, when they told me I had days, I decided that I better take things into my own hands. I contacted Frank Cleese because I knew he had a private members bill before the legislature and seeking out help. He referred me to George in Step by Step. And George organized a mini campaign in which my kids and their friends from Aurora High walked from Richmond Hill to Toronto carrying the torch. Down in Toronto, they had a press conference. and which was picked up by the Toronto media. It was on 3 TV stations, it was on a radio station, and 3 newspapers. They pledged for people to come forward and be live donors to donate a portion of their liver. Took that footage and put it on Facebook, YouTube, and it spread like wildfire. I had 9 people contact me through Facebook wanting to step forward and make a donation of their liver. The liver rejuvenates, so people can donate their liver as a live donor and save a life and continue on with their own. 3 of the people backed out because family members weren't okay with it, and part of the deal with the donor is that you go through different testing. One of them is family compatibility, and so 3 of them backed out for that reason. 4 of them went through the procedure and were rejected because they either had health issues that conflicted with myself, or their liver dimensions weren't proper. We were on the 5th transplant, 5th potential transplant person when I got a second call from the Toronto General Hospital for cadaveric liver. I was optimistic but realistic. I had already been called in July, about a month after I was told I had days to live. And I got down there and got prepped the night before. Couldn't sleep that night, because I just kept thinking about how great it would be to live. I got up in the morning and they never came for me. So about 2 hours after the designated time, I asked what was going on. They told me, sorry, didn't anyone tell you, but the liver's diseased, you'll have to go home. So that was, to say the least, a bit of a bummer. In September, I actually got a transplant, September 11th. It's another reason for me to remember 9/11. So that was less than 3 months ago. It'll be 3 months on Saturday, I guess. I'm doing great in my recovery, and it's not only how it affected me that really hit home. It was how it affected my kids. They would come and visit me, and all the time. In fact, they made a collage for me in June of family photos, put to music, because they didn't think I was coming out. After I had the transplant, my daughter Marla told me that they came so often because they didn't think they'd get to see me again. I saw the toll it took on them, the emotional strain of it, the trauma it caused them. In fact, they're to the point now where they just want to put those 2.5 years behind them and just move on. But they're wonderful kids, and if it wasn't for them, and step by step, I wouldn't be here today. The thing about organ donation is I became acutely aware during this process of waiting for a liver, and the uncertainty of living, and the challenges of going from day to day with different things happening to you, and wondering if you'd be able to get up the next day, or what you're going to do that day, if you've got enough strength to do it, and the cloud hanging over your head. The thing you have to do is remain positive. And I watched my kids go through this. And it's not just the effect it has on you, it's the effect it has on your family. And it's a very disheartening experience to see your kids suffering along with you and your friends. I had tremendous support, and a lot of people might not have the support I did, which makes it even more important that people come forward and donate organs so that they alone do not have to go through this. The end result is very positive, but along the way, there were people on my floor that actually passed away waiting for an organ. People die in Canada pretty well every day waiting for an organ. And the problem could be solved if more organ donors came forward. And the thing I want you to keep in mind is that even though directly it may not, you may not know who you gave your organ to, but someday it could help save the life of someone you know. Just encouraging other people to donate makes more organs available for transplant. And people wouldn't have to wait on the list and go through the personal trauma and watch the emotional impact that it has on family members. So the life you're saving, maybe that of somebody else. As George says to me, tell people not to take their organs to heaven because God knows we need them here. Once you're deceased, those organs can save